What's up, everybody? Crazy Eights here with another Star Wars Vintage Collection toy review. From Empire Strikes Back, we are looking at Dengar. So we'll take a look at the packaging, and then we'll take a look at the figure and with all the accessories he comes with. Now he's on a card back, a blister card back. Sure, we'll go with that. So you got Star Wars Empire Strikes Back. You got his name right there, and you got an image of him from the movie. And here he is in the blister. There's his head. Looks pretty good. And you can see what accessories he comes with. On the back, you got a lot of wasted space over here, if you ask me. All these words in different languages and all that crap. Here's a barcode. I don't think you're going to find this guy in the store. He is VC01A. I don't know what the A means. But here's a little brief bio. And it's all in different languages. You want to pause it to read it. There you go. Yeah, let me center it for you guys. And then you got him out of the packaging and in a little pose. Little product shot right there of him. So that's the figure. Let's get him out of this package. So here's Dengar out of the packaging. And they suck at standing, so we're going to do it like this. So here's a quick spin on him. He comes with a backpack. I just took it off for this reason. Just so you can look at the details of this guy. And there's a lot going on. Now, I don't know this guy's story or his lore, but to me, he looks pretty beat up, like he's been through some things. There's his head sculpt. Got some scarring going on, got a wrapper on his head. He's got some armor on his arms and hands, and then he's got this big armored plate on his chest. Does have a belt on there with some. Let's lift his arms up. You can see his belt got some stuff on there as well. Holster for a gun. He's got more armor on there and his feet. He's a little bit on the hefty side, I would say, as far as figures go. Here's his backpack. It's upside down, my bad. There you go. He's got a sleep roll. He's got, I don't know if these are landmines or whatnot, but he's got some stuff going on his backpack as well. And it just pegs in. Like so. Right now for weapons, he comes with a little handgun. Looks like Han Solo-esque type. And that could store right here, which is nice. Put that right in there. And then for his main weapon, which is this thing, this long ass. This thing looks really badass. And it's really long, like poke your eye out with this thing. Probably didn't want to poke your eye out. This thing's a beast. And he can hold that in his hands. See if we get it in there. Putting the weapons on these guys could be a bit of a pain in the backside. Standing up and putting their weapons in, those two of the things that weren't always easy to do. But there you go. Here's just a quick way of putting it. Put it on it. There is no way for him to like put on his backpack as storage. I don't see any peg ports or anything. No, nothing below it. Nothing up top. No, so he has to hold that. So that's a bummer. But he's got some small feet. He's got some really stubby legs. He really does. But trying to get him to stand up is no bueno. Yeah, can't get him to stand up. Oh well, we'll do some comparisons now. For bounty hunters, we're gonna go with this big bad boy. As you can see how they look together. Size-wise, yeah, the Wookiee stands tall. Like if you put their feet together, yeah, he's up to his chest. And I like that they do have a size issue with these guys. I love that. Here he is with Empire Strikes Back Boba. You can see how they look together. Now I do want to get the whole set. I do want to get the other guys that were in Empire. When it comes to the vintage line, I do want to get Star Wars, Return of the Jedi, Empire Strikes Back figures over the newer stuff. I'll collect some of them, and if they're on sale, I'll buy them. But for the most part, I'm looking for just original trilogies. I like that's where I mostly know my Star Wars from. Kind of trailed off after that, but yeah, they look really good together. I do need the others though. And finally, here he is with the vintage one. So you can see where they came from. They're still both chunky. They got the armor. Yeah, I would say like the armor is like spot on for this one even. And he even got his backpack. I took his backpack off for this reason, but if you put his backpack, let me see something really quick. Yeah, he's got the sleep pack and all that, and pretty spot on, I would say, for a vintage, for the retro line. And then taking a look at the hand pieces, these are different, of course. Now I don't even know if this is the original gun that he came with. I think this is the one that came with the Stormtroopers also, or the Snowtroopers. I could be wrong, but yeah, these it's a long rifle, but not this one. So I'm not sure if this is the correct gun that came with him. But yeah, that's the accessory I have for my vintage or my retro Dengar. All right. So that was my look at Dengar from the vintage collection, and he's from Empire Strikes Back. Now I remember reading the Boba Fett books, and I think he's the one that saved Boba Fett out of the Sarlacc pit and brought him back to life, and nursed him back to life, I should say. I always was confused about this guy. My little kid brain always thought that this guy was just badly damaged, and he was held together by his armor and the cloth that wrapped him around him, because he looked like he just got out of a hospital or something, or a medical ward, and he's got his head still wrapped up from burnt trauma to the head. And I always thought that he was just held together by his armor, because he looked like a mess. He didn't look like he was put together nicely. But I don't know the lore on Dengar. I'm kind of curious to see, to read that. I do want to get the others. Like I've always liked Bosk. I thought he was really cool. I always thought IG-88 was lame until I actually saw, I think it was the Clone Wars cartoon when they actually showed them in how they actually operated. Because like in Empire Strikes Back, we didn't know anything about these guys, but then when you watched The Mandalorian and you saw the IG unit fight in, I was like, oh, okay. Made me interested in that unit as a bounty hunter. But yeah, that's it for this video. Decent figure, great articulation, great details, accessories are great. I found out that his chastity belt pops off over here. So that pops off, which just happened to pop off when I was looking at him. But yeah, I'm just glad to have him, because now I have 2 bounty hunters from Empire Strikes Back. I want to get the rest. Anyway, thanks for watching. I got this guy, I want to say off a Target for like $11. So check your Targets. Oh, no, not Target, I'm sorry. Amazon, $11. So check Amazon if you want him. He's still available. Anyway, that's it for this video. I do hope you all enjoy it. See you later.